When you stack all of what you've done, I mean,
it's unbelievable, and it's so.
You should be
so
160,
cool.
not in your 60s. Like there's so much, whether it's film, TV, music, even dancing with the Stars and whatnot. But and then also international. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And obviously, you're a massive pop culture icon. Where did it all start? Where did the itch to entertain start for you? Was it music or was it acting?
It all started when I was 7 years old. I honest to God, never thought I'd be talking to a car or running down the beach in slow motion. I was on my way to Broadway, and it took me a long time to get there. But I walked off Knight Rider, believe it or not, to go to Broadway to do Jekyll and Hyde. Oh. And it was the toughest thing I've ever done.
But for you to have all that success and to put that aside to go back and do theater is pretty, it really shows that passion.
Yeah, it seems really poetic that your first gig was in Peter Pan. You know, the whole message there is to never grow up. And you look at everything that you've done in your career and continue to do, to everyone, it looks like you still have that mantra of never grow up, keep chasing after your dreams, even though you've already done so much.
Yeah, you know, I did, I married a girl from Wales, and I did a thing they call Panto, which is a big successful kind of a take on Jack and the Beanstalk or the Peter Pan, and I played Off the Hook. Don't you just love me? And the audience would go, no, yes you do. No, we don't. Yes, you do. And I was able to just talk back and forth, and I ended up doing one, and I ended up doing 7 in a row because, like Drew says, I love theater, and it's my passion. And when I did 9 to 5 recently at the Savoy in the UK, it's because there's just something about it. But it's so difficult. And it's so, the Panto was great fun because it was a short run. And some of those guys do it their whole lives. And I feel really an affinity for all the people that were in 9 to 5 and all the people that were in Hamilton and Broadway, because I had a dear friend just pass away, but his husband was the swing. The swing is an understudy in Hamilton, but he was the swing for like 6 different guys. I mean, how I can remember that?
Oh my gosh, I know.
How do they do that? You know, and it's just part of their life. They live in their cars between shows. They take the train, and now they're all out of work because of COVID-19. It's just a real strange time, and we are the lucky ones because my mom would always say that's life, and you know, and it's true. You know, it's a big lesson that I had to learn about, you know, talking to someone when you're not feeling okay, especially now.
Yeah,
you know, it's really important that you empty the bucket and not overflow, because if you don't do that, you get in trouble. And I think you can get in trouble with your own head and your own self. But we're the lucky ones because we're able to talk to each other, come up with creative ideas, travel the world, meet people. People tell me they love me. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Men tell me, I love you. Can I tell you my Knight Rider story? I go, it's 12 o'clock. I'm looking for avocados. I'm only because I don't want to be recognized. I know.
But okay. Yes, I'll tell you a story.
Yes. I said, okay, walk with me. Show me the avocados and tell me the story. Okay. And they tell me the story. Well, when I was a small boy, I had a little Knight Rider licorice on my tricycle. You know, or I was in Soweto. I was supposed to do a commercial, Drew, in Soweto. And I wanted to go to Soweto, which is an African township in Johannesburg, because I went there with my dad, and the COVID-19 hit, you know, and I couldn't go.
So your explosion of music, when did that happen after your acting, and how did it become such a huge part in Europe? Like your audience base in Europe is bigger than your audience base in America, or?
No, it's just that I just did an album called Open Your Eyes and got great reviews, and it was a really kind of songs from the 80s, you know, like Open Your Eyes from the Lords of the New Church and the Jesus of Mary Chain and Echo and the Bunnymen, Lips Like Sugar, stuff that people don't even know. And to be honest, I did it with a record company called Cleopatra, and I did it with all these superstars like Steve Stevens and all these amazing musicians because they watched Knight Rider, and they all kind of guested on this album. And the album got a great amount of respect, especially with Howard Stern, because I did. David Bowie was kind of a cool idol, and he did a song called "We Can Be Heroes for Just One Day," and he lived in Berlin when he wrote that. And I sang a song in Germany called "Looking for Freedom." I've been looking for freedom, and it became. We sold 11 million singles, and then they called me one time and said, "Hey, we're doing the Sylvester show." And I said, "Yeah, what's that?" They said, "Well, it's kind of like the Dick Clark show, and we'd like you to sing on the show, and you can sing in a hotel, and it goes out to millions of people, and we're ZDF, which is like ABC." And I said, "You know what? I'll do it only if I can sing on the Berlin Wall." And I hung up the phone, and I said to the person I was with at that time, "It'll never happen. You're going to have to get Honecker and Helmut Kohn. Not going to happen. The wall's down. It's never going to happen." They called me back and they said, "You're singing in a crane." And I said, "Between East and West Germany, and the walls come down." And we found out that "Looking for Freedom" was almost a national anthem, a hymn to the East Germans. And I said, "What?" And they said, "Your song, being the Knight Rider, singing, 'I've been looking for freedom,' that's what they were singing. I've been looking for freedom."
Oh, wow.
And they couldn't sing they couldn't speak, they couldn't say this next line. "I've been looking for freedom. I've been looking so long. And they would go, "I've been looking for freedom, da 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 da," because they couldn't speak English. But they sing that song. So I sang, and you can see it on YouTube, to 1 million people. And that began my 1989, and 30 years ago, I just finished my last tour called 30 Years Looking for Freedom. The journey continues.